interesting facts about the Titanic. The Titanic disaster became the most famous accident in world history. And despite the fact that its causes have been more or less reliably established, there are still a number of theories claiming that the giant cruise ship sank not because of a collision with an iceberg. There are various projects to raise the sunken ship to the surface, but it was decided to abandon all of them in the end. For decades, it was believed that the liner sank entirely, but later research showed that it broke in two. Its bow and stern parts lie at the bottom of a distance of 600 meters from each other. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell to get new video updates. The most likely reason why the iceberg sent the Titanic to the bottom was not noticed in time because the ice block was overturned. As the underwater part of the iceberg melts, it shrinks, and as a result, a giant piece of ice can turn upside down. In this case, the darker underwater part is at the top. After the Titanic disaster, a number of countries jointly created a service that monitors all large icebergs. Since then, there have been no more serious ship collisions with them for more than a century. Scientists have established that rust and marine microorganisms will destroy the sunken wreck of the Titanic by the end of the 21st century. Only anchors and some other massive elements made of steel will survive. Director James Cameron, who shot the world-famous film about Titanic, plunged several times to the wreckage of the Titanic in a bathyscape. The first film about the Titanic was made less than a month after the disaster, and the main role in it was played by an actress who survived the shipwreck. There were 12 dogs on board, of which 3 survived. After the Titanic collided with an iceberg, the ship's deck turned out to be sprinkled with snow and pieces of ice, which many passengers took as an unexpected trick and began to play soccer with fragments of ice, not even knowing about the coming nightmare. The remains of the Titanic were discovered only 73 years after the accident. 3 million rivets were used to build the Titanic, most of which were handmade. According to modern calculations, a first-class ticket cost about $100,000, so wealthy people floated on the upper deck. The ship was equipped with only 20 lifeboats with a total capacity of 1,178 people, which was enough for less than half of the passengers, all because the ship was considered unsinkable, and they decided to save money on boats. According to statistics, 74% of women and 20% of men survived as a result of the sinking of the Titanic. News about the real situation with the surviving and deceased passengers remained a mystery to the rest of the world for several days. The first newspapers even reported that all passengers and crew members survived the Titanic crash. After the crash, boats were sorely lacking, but still some of them, due to panic, sailed away, being only half full. The construction of the Titanic cost $7.5 million and took 3 years. At the time of construction, the Titanic was the largest passenger ship in the world. Its length was 268 meters, and its weight to full load reached 46,328 tons. The liner was sinking to the music. The orchestra stood up to the last on deck and played a song to cheer the people around. The last of the Titanic passengers died in 2009 at the age of 97. She was 2.5 months old at the time of the shipwreck. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below letting us know what you thought, and make sure you subscribe.